Hello and welcome to this edition of A Conversation With. I'm Jim Marshall of the New Bedford Cable Network, and today we're going to talk about Black-owned businesses in the city of New Bedford, as well as a special event that's coming up in late August to promote and help them. As you know, Black businesses have suffered huge losses during the COVID-19 quarantine, so Buy Black NB is creating a safe space to support them and allow you to buy Black. You can shop a curated selection of local Black-owned businesses while enjoying music, giveaways, networking, and community building. It's called a pop-up outdoor market, and it's taking place August 28th at the Rotch Jones Duff House and Garden Museum. Now, for children, there'll be activities by Doodle's Creative Sessions, and there will be live entertainment and free admission with advanced registration. We'll also today talk with Justina Perry. She is the founder and director of Buy Black NB, and we'll have a good conversation with her talking about what the event is and what she's been doing to promote the Black businesses in the city.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts.
Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Hello and welcome to this edition of A Conversation With. I'm Jim Marshall of the New Bedford Cable Network, and joining us via the Zoom line today, Justina Perry, who is I want to make sure I get this right, founder and director of Buy Black NB. Thanks for joining us. I know you are very busy, so I appreciate the time that you are taking to do this. We wanted to talk about, you sent a press release out about an event coming up later this month that we're going to talk about and promote. But first, why don't you just introduce yourself to people who may not know who you are and what you're doing?
Sure, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. My name is Justina Perry. I'm a New Bedford resident, lifelong resident here, and I live and work in the community. So I started a platform about a year ago. It was going back to June 2020. It began as a Black-owned business directory, and this has included all of South Coast businesses that are Black-owned, and over the last year we've been able to promote the businesses, create programs for the businesses, and with grant funding it's been able to grow more. Over this summer we're having some vendor markets. So that's the mission of the platform, is to uplift the Black community and to bring visibility to Black-owned businesses in South Coast.
And you have
it's kind of moved from just being online, which is how it started and pretty much what we were limited to a year ago, to being having some in-person community events.
I was going to say, it sounds kind of like a Chamber of Commerce sort of thing, if you will, how you're doing it.
They've been a huge support for us in getting on our feet, and that's our fiscal sponsor, so that we're able to apply for grants with that nonprofit supporting us fiscally. So yeah, we really appreciate their support.
How many, and I don't think people know, how many Black-owned businesses are in, and I don't want to just say New Bedford, but in the area?
It's at least 150, because that's how many we have represented on our directory, and we're discovering more. Some are being formed, some closed down, unfortunately, but it's at least 150. That's what you can access at buyblacknb.com.
And you said it's an online platform, and there's a lot of things on there too for people to look at.
Definitely. When we represent at the vendor markets, we're selling apparel and goods, but there's certainly a lot of services. there are health and wellness providers, there's automobile, there's, you know, dentistry, there's a lawyer, there's people who own their real estate companies. So um, there are a lot of ways that you can be diverse and intentional about your spending and access the directory. We've made it really easy. It's categorized, it's free, and also we share just organically when things are going on from the businesses, when they have sales, when they're popping up places, so that you can connect with them.
I'm curious, what inspired you though to start this? Because you know, you're the founder. I mean, and you would think that it shouldn't take into 2020 to get something like this up. So what inspired you to do that?
Yeah, it was just that need of, you know, I noticed, and just with conversation with my family and friends, like that we don't have a list like this, and that'd be a nice resource to have. So I've seen other bigger cities have these directories that work well. So it was just going to start like a list, and then from there, it has evolved. But during that time, you know, we were in lockdown. There was a lot of uprising going on, and you know, people are reflecting on ways, how can I be involved and support this revolution. So that was my I was a new mom at the time. I am a new mom, so I was able to do my part. I felt that way.
I was going to say, to start a platform like this in 2020, just the year, such a difficult challenge. And I didn't, you know, obviously having a baby is even more of a challenge to do that.
Right.
So congratulations though.
Thank you.
What are some of the things you talk about right in the first paragraph, which I thought, you know, that Black businesses have faced a tremendous challenge. And I would assume obviously in 2020, even greater challenges. Talk a little bit about those challenges.
Right. So in 2020, we were seeing Black and brown people were disproportionately affected by COVID and not able to access the pandemic grants at the same rates as white counterparts. So the pandemic definitely brought to light some of those inequities. But historically, there's been a lack of access to loans and support from banks, less networks that are built in with people in our families who may own businesses, or those are long-standing barriers that people of color may face with entrepreneurship, with starting a business. There's stigma attached to Black-owned business owners. We get, you know, when we hear from the business owners that, you know, we're expected to lower our prices, that our quality should be cheaper, and that we should offer discounts. And those are all stigmas as far as like the quality of the products and service. So those are additional challenges that Black-owned businesses may face. So the support from a directory and a platform, like that's all we do is support Black-owned businesses. And if you're a new business, we hope to highlight you. We hope to bring awareness to your business, along with, I mean, there's some other really supportive organizations locally that are uplifting small businesses, but we're the only ones that are supporting Black-owned businesses in this way.
And I mean, there's a lot of older businesses too, successful businesses that have been around a long time. I don't think people even realize that.
Yes, absolutely. And some of them, it's like, well, I grew up patronizing, or my family, that's how I even started a small list of like 20 businesses. And then from there it's grown. But so many long-standing businesses, and some of our community leaders who are really surviving in a pandemic. And so I'm happy to be in a part of that network.
Are you so you were tackling obviously the issues that businesses were facing, and when it comes to banking and getting loans and what have you. We're 18 months into the pandemic now. Has it, I don't want to say is it getting easier, but are people getting the information at the very least that they didn't even get before?
As far as accessing grants like Paycheck Protection Program and those, from my discussions with the business owners, there's definitely a lack of outreach to those communities. I'm hoping that as our platform grows, we'll kind of become an extra connection to building that network and that understanding, and just another resource for people to access capital.
It must be interesting from your standpoint too, because you're starting a platform and people are asking you about things and procedures and stuff, and you're probably learning just like they are.
Yeah, I'm not a business owner. Well, I never thought of myself as a business owner. So this is absolutely, I've learned and acquired skills throughout this process that I have just been needed in order to host an event or to be able to put together, some of the interviews that we do and market online. Those were not skills that I had, but it's been definitely a learning process for me. And I'm really excited to be growing in that way, to be able to really support my community that raised me.
And you must be too, I mean, there are challenges, doesn't matter who owns a business, challenges that businesses face in general. I mean, you talk about marketing and for people that don't know about how important online marketing is, or like you said, getting information out to prospective clients or customers or whatever. I mean, there's just regular business issues that have to be addressed on a daily basis by new business owner, or just by any business owner.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And I think, especially over the last year, social media is just so key in how you're able to promote and market your business. So for me, when I was starting this, I knew it had to be on social media, but thank goodness for some really talented people who volunteered their time, allies, and have been able to offer support in that way so that we can engage on social media and get that following.
And it's interesting, you said earlier in our discussion, which I thought is a good point, because you lived here and you would frequent the businesses that you always did. And I think a lot of businesses, that's success is the repetitive customers. You just go to places that you're familiar with. So it's hard for a new business to try to get that clientele into the door or whatever the service is.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a challenge that you've had or with new businesses?
I think for sure. And so many of the new businesses, they're starting online maybe, and hoping to move into a brick and mortar. As far as establishing clientele and getting that return customer, I think it also goes to, like, if people are willing to, it may be a little bit harder. Like, you may have to go into a neighborhood that you don't typically go to, or maybe instead of shopping online, you're going to go into a store. And sometimes, the Black-owned businesses that aren't as established or long-standing, they may not be able to offer like the quick overnight shipping or the curbside pickup. So there are some ways that when you are making those buying decisions, I would say to keep that in mind. But as far as like what your dollars go to, it's supporting families and really the community to be able to keep our money within small businesses and local.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We have this like deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet,
We discover
they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
We got 5 minutes left, but I want you to just talk about the Black in Business pop-up outdoor market that's coming up at the end of August. This is a great event at Rotch Jones Duff House.
Yes, I would love to talk about that. I'm so excited. coming off of our Juneteenth event, it was a big success. It was a hit. We got really important feedback back from our attendees and vendors to be able to enhance it for August 28th. And that's in celebration of National Black Business Month, which is all August long. So we'll be promoting businesses, and we have at least 25 businesses, and it's curated. So you're going to see a little bit for everybody, different types of products. And then also businesses who aren't selling, but networking. And so we have entertainment. I'm happy to announce that we will have Manny Escobar playing from 9 to 11, live jazz music. And then we'll have DJ Fresco as the morning goes on. DJing, we will have It's a Vibe. That's the 360 photo booth. She'll be returning. Doodles will be providing children's entertainment, lots of lawn games. So bring the family, bring your friends. It should be a great time. Lots of food to try. We're excited to be at Rotch Jones Duff House again on August 28th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Note the time change.
When you did the Juneteenth event, were attendees surprised at the businesses, just what was being offered? It's kind of new for people who don't know.
Yeah, I think people were surprised at we got a lot of feedback, like, wow, the businesses were so professional, people were expecting less. It's like, no, these businesses, they showed up, they decorate their tables, they take credit cards, they have websites. Like, these are people who oftentimes are working full-time jobs, but they have these passion projects that they're putting their heart and souls into. So it was very well received. And I mean, I was just surprised in the turnout. I knew that we had a lot of support online, but just didn't know who was gonna show up for it. But it was a federal holiday at that point, Juneteenth, and people had the day off. So I was so my heart was so warmed by how many people were able to show up and spend some money, and it was fun.
That's great. The other thing, and I know we don't have a lot of time, and maybe we can talk about it at another time, but
Yeah.
You were talking about the Her Story program that's going on. And I know that one of our videographers is doing things, Anne Marie Lopes, but just give a 30-second to a minute little summary about that.
Sure. So Her Story started in February as a way to highlight Black women-owned businesses locally. And so we had highlighted 4 businesses in February, and there were so many more that we wanted to feature. And this is an opportunity for business owners to share their story, their business journey, and it's amazing. It's online, it's virtual, so you can watch from the comfort of your own home. It airs the fourth Thursday of every month. We're going to take August off for the event, and then we'll pick back up September. So we've done 5 episodes so far, and we're going to continue with the support of the Women's Fund of Southeastern Massachusetts. And it's just been amazing to really give space to Black women, listen to Black women, and to be able to hear what they've persevered through, and them be able to share their talents and expertise, wisdom with the audience. So if you're ready to start a business and you want to learn a little bit, or if you want to support, if you're a customer and you want to hear more about your favorite business owner, it's a great way to tune in and learn more. And that's just one of the ways that we are really bolstering the community and trying to give that space for business owners.
It's been great talking with you. I know you're very busy. I appreciate you taking the time. Hopefully we can get you in the studio here and we can do a longer discussion, because there's so much to talk about. But
there is so much. Thank you so much for having me.
I wish you the best of luck at the end of the month. Well, in August, that's for sure.
Yes, I hope everyone can come out. And if you're your values are in line with what we're doing. If you want to check out some new businesses, try some new food, and just come and hang out, you can bring a lawn chair. There's free parking. It's a great way to kind of close out the summer and engage with Buy Black NB. So check out our website, buyblacknb.com, for all the updates.
Justina Perry, it's a pleasure meeting you. We'll talk again soon. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Jim.
I want to thank Justina for her time. I know she's very busy. Don't forget, August is National Black Business Month, a time when individuals in business recognize Black-owned businesses across the country. Don't forget, if you attend the event on August 28th, the participants are asked to follow CDC guidelines when it comes to wearing a mask. Again, the event taking place at the Rotch Jones Duff House and Garden Museum from 9 to 1 p.m. That's going to do it for this edition of A Conversation With. I'm Jim Marshall. We'll talk to you again soon.